Hey there, how there, ho there. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond welcoming you to the Nations Cup Championship. 16 fighters from 16 different nations going head to head. So you've seen the preliminaries with 16 countries being picked. Well, actually 15 tournaments. South Africa was supposed to have one, but they balked. They couldn't find anyone good enough. And Colombia, we allowed to have a fighter of significance come in to the tournament despite not having any matches. So there were some surprises, there were some big moves, all that, but we'll have every fight for you televised. So that's the lineup: 16 nations: Panama, France, Puerto Rico, England, US, Cuba, Australia, Mexico, Canada, Italy, Germany, Thailand, Colombia, Philippines, Japan, and Argentina. Our first fight is the lightweight Roberto Duran from Panama versus the middleweight from Canada, Lou Brouillard. A lot of people were shocked that Brouillard won the Canadian Championships. Duran for Panama, well, not so much. Nubo Lolwick and Manny Seaman will be in Duran's corner, Danny Smith and Danny Florio for Brouillard. This will be held in Canada at Casino Rama. Ed Darian, your announcer, Julia Vlogs, your ring-card girl, Pat Russell, your referee, Jean Scoley, Carol Polis, and Pascal Brookfield, the Canadian, will be their judges. Andreas Rat will be your ringside expert. Duran, Manos de Pietra, Hands of Stone. From Panama City, Panama, had a career from 1968 to 2001, 5'7", about 138. Biography 103-16. He was a middleweight champion, a light middleweight champion, welterweight, lightweight. In the Boxing Hall of Fame, part of the making the comeback of the year twice by the Ring Magazine. Look at who he beat. He beat Sugar Ray Leonard, the famous fight in Montreal at Stade Olympique. Sal Molumby, Arid Ferrier, and Kobayashi, one of the greatest lightweights of all time. In the Panama tournament, he decisioned Anselmo Moreno, KO Roberto Vasquez, KO Ishmael Laguna, and put a unanimous decision on Ernesto Marcel. On the other side, Canada's champion Lou Brouillard from St. Eugene, Quebec, born 1911, died 1984. His career was from 1928 to 1940, so he was during the Great Depression, 5'7" as well. 109, 29, and 3 welterweight championship. In the Canadian Open, he had 3 fights in Montreal, 1 in Halifax. In Montreal, he beat Arthur King by unanimous decision, majority decision on Jimmy McLaren, which was huge, a split decision against Tommy Burns, which was also huge, and he would beat fellow Cinderella Fernando Gagnon by majority decision in the Canadian Championship. Now, to explain also that how did I rank these from 1 to 16? Well, I went through the title belt rating system by their number, like the rating number and all that. And ties were based on personal opinion or by knockouts in their national tournament. Brouillard ended up being the number 16 seed, despite the fact that Colombia had a guy walk in. Only because Brouillard was not really the best man for the job, and I thought Cervantes would be good. So let's see who wins between Duran and Brouillard.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have your decision.
The decision has been made. And scorecards say 58-56 for Durant. Well, we shall see. John Scullov sees about 59-54, so it's a majority decision because that's what they're saying. Carol Polis scores at 59-56. And Pascal Perocable scores at 59-54. Who's the winner? Roberto Duran, as predicted. So he does his job. Let's look at the scorecards. Yeah, it's weird how Polis actually gave Brouillard more of a fight than the home country judge. Well, you can't blame bias because there was no bias, at least this time. So that's what happened. They only gave one fight Brouillard in the 4th round. So Durant beats Brouillard. And we'll have our next fight. It's the French champion, the light heavyweight Georges Carpentier. The 8th seed taking on number 9, the Italian Nino Benvenuti. So classic France-Italy fight is going to happen. So hold on to your seats. Tommy Gallagher and Darky Smith will help Carpentier. Bowie Fischer and Jim Strickland for Nino. From the Velodrome d'Hiver, or the French Auditorium in France. Jay Gutierrez is your announcer. Jane Bloggs, your ring card girl. Frank Santor, your referee. Hans Larson, Valerie Dorset, and Tim Wood are your judges. Chris Mund is your ringside expert. Carpentier winning the French championship, the Orchard Man from 1894 to 1975. He was born 81 years old. 1908 to 1926 was his time in the sun. 88, 14, and 6. He was the world light heavyweight champion. Gun Bullet Smith for the White Heavyweight Championship and won by disqualification. Best known for his loss to Jack Dempsey in front of 100,000 fans in real life. All his fights were in Paris. He put a majority decision on Charles Ledoux, a unanimous decision against Emile Pladner in the French tournament, a unanimous decision against Fabrice Tiosso, and a disqualification win over Marcel Cerdan. And Cerdan actually had Carpentier beaten. But Cerdan took a stupid disqualification. So that's why Carpentier is here. He faces Nino, born in 1938, 5'11", 1961 to 1971 was his career. 82-7-1, the WBC and WBA middleweight champion. He was a light middleweight champion. Had a great fight against Central Massini and Griffith, among others. Won a gold medal for Italy at the 1960 Olympic Games in Rome. And was named the best boxer of the Olympics. Nino, 3 fights in Bologna, 1 in Roma. He put a majority decision on Tibero Mitri, a unanimous decision against Lou Bugash, a split decision against Franco Surlo, and he TKO'd Dulo Loi, who was the number 1 seed in Italy. But anyway, let's see who wins this one. Carpentier takes out Mr. Benvenuti in the 2nd round. So that was quick. quick fight for Carpentier. Now we have the Puerto Rico champion Wilfredo Gomez, junior featherweight, against the middleweight champion from Germany, Gustav Schultz. Well, Gomez is the 4 seed, Schultz the 13 seed. Billy Graham and Spider Kelly are your backers for Gomez. Schultz will have Emilio Stewart and Joe Chavez. At the Sport Palace in Germany, Joe Antonassi, your announcer, Ali Sonoma, your ring cut girl, Tibor Roman, your referee, Keith McDonald, Jesus Manuel Kova, and Hank Majors are your judges. Roy Paff, your ringside expert. Wilfredo, the Puerto Rico champion, Bazooka, as they call him, born in 1956, 5'5", career from 74 to 89, 44 3-1, the super featherweight, and super bantamweight champion. In the Puerto Rico tournament, he put a split decision on Frank Navarez, a unanimous decision on Juan Laporte, Jose Torres, and then Wilfred Benitez, which was kind of a big move. Meanwhile, Germany has Gustav Schultz, Bubby, as he's called, born 1930, died in 2000, 70 years old. 1948 to 1964 was his career. 88, 2, and 6 in his lifetime. Wasn't really a world champion. He did beat Guillermo Rinaldi. But Schultz, 3 fights in Berlin, 1 at Prenzlberg. Anyway, unanimous decision against Felix Sturm, a unanimous decision against Arthur Abraham, a unanimous decision against Gustav Ader, and a majority decision over Sven Otke. So Schultz kind of got lucky. It was a weak class, if you will. So let's see what we got here. Well, the scorecard says that Schultz may have pulled an upset. That's what the unofficial score says, that Schultz may have pulled one out. Keith McDonald scores about 58-56 for Schultz. Okay. Let's see. Manuel Kova scores about 58-57 for Gomez, which means we will have, well, the third judge's score is going to be huge. Hank Majors scores about 58-57 for Gomez. No, it's Gustav Schultz, and Schultz pulls off the upset by split decision. Big win for Schultz, getting in over Wilfredo Gomez. Now let's look at the scorecards. Scorecards show that Gomez did look good, but the last two. Let's see if I can see it. Well, Majors made it. Majors gave 10-10. Now, if Majors actually scored a 10-9 for Gomez, like McDonald and Kova, it would have been 57-57. We would have had a tie in a rematch. We would have had one judge for each and one tie, which means we would have had to go to a tiebreak. That's if Majors went with the 10-9 scoring system. Kova went 10-10 for Gomez Schultz. If he had scored 10-9 for Schultz like everyone else, it would not have mattered because he went Gomez. So yeah, so Majors could have, if it went 10-9 for Gomez, he would have forced a tie in a rematch. Anyway, we have the English champion, Lennox Lewis, the heavyweight, against the junior flyweight champion from Thailand, Saman Surjaturan. Lennox Lewis, trained by Billy Graham and Jack DeForest. Saman gets Rudy Hernandez and Eddie Aleno. From the Savoy Hotel in England, Joe Antonesi, your announcer. Holly Kisher, your ring card girl. Tommy Kimmins, your referee. Crystal Wright, Uri Aguilera, and Omar Minton are your judges. Lee Crooks, your ringside expert. Lennox Lewis, the English champion. The Lion, as they call him, 6'5". Damn, tall. 89 to 2003 was his career. 41-2-1, Olympic super heavyweight title, British heavyweight champion, Commonwealth champion, heavyweight belt in all the major options, the WBC, the IBC, WBF, and IBF, representing Canada at the Olympics, winning gold against Riddick Bowe at the Olympics in 1988. Too bad he couldn't stay being Canadian. Regardless of that, he put a unanimous decision on Johnny Nelson, a unanimous decision against Ricky Haddon, a TKO of Nigel the Dark Destroyer Ben, and a unanimous decision against Bob Fitzsimmons. Meanwhile, the Thai champion, Sorja Turan, born in 1969, 5'3", 107 pounds of dynamite from 89 to 2005, 46-8-1, WBC and IBF light flyweight champion in the Thai fighting thing, unanimous decision on Eagle Den Junlapan, a unanimous decision against Chechkai Sakakul, majority decision against Duoron Chutanada, and a TKO over the heavy favorite Samson Dutch Boy Jim. So he TKO'd the favorite just to get this far. Now, how will he do against Lennox? It's the 5 seed versus the 12 seed. The KO of Saman. It kind of was like 100-pound weight difference. At least he hung on. Actually, what's funny is the scorecards. The first 2 rounds went to Lewis, and then they went with Saman. So Saman actually was making a comeback, but Lennox Lewis KO'd him in round 5. I feel bad for him. Now we have the 2C Tommy Gibbons, the light heavyweight U.S. champion, against number 15 Antonio Cervantes, junior welterweight from Venezuela. Let Venezuela get one. Gibbons will be helped by Clemente Medina and Jack DeForest, Brendan Ingle and Aaron Snowell for Cervantes. At the Roy Wilkins Auditorium, Ben Bentley, your announcer, Jerry Bloggs, your ring card girl, Jurgen Langels, your referee, Henry Elispero, Jose Juan Guerra, and Franco Simonale are your judges. Lee Quicks, your ringside expert. Tommy Gibbons, the American champion, born in St. Paul, 1891 to 1960. His career from 1911 to 1925, 6 foot tall and about 175 pounds, 95, 5, and 5, no major titles in anything. He was named to the Boxing Hall of Fame, but he never had the title. He did beat Harry Greb, George Carpaccio, and Billy Misk in battling Lipinski. In the U.S. Championship, 2 matches in St. Paul, 1 in Pittsburgh, 1 in Salt Lake. He decisioned Michael Spinks, big win. Then he decisioned Harry Greb. A majority decision against Sugar Ray Robinson was huge because Ray Robinson was the 1 seed. And then in Salt Lake, he TK'd Jack Dempsey, which was like, how the heck do you beat Jack Dempsey? Everyone thought that Jack Dempsey was going to be the U.S. champion. Now, Tommy Gibbons actually had a title bout rating of 14, so that's why he was ranked high. Now, despite all that, I guess he was very underrated. Cervantes from Colombia. I said Venezuela. Why? I said that. Colombia. Kid Pambale, as they call him. 5'10", 139. Career from 64 to 83. 91, 12, and 3. The WBA light welterweight champion at one time. And he never fought because Colombia did not have a title tournament. Not done yet.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have your decision.
And that will end the fight after 6 rounds. This first round, 6 rounds. And because of that knockdown, Gibbons, I think, has won. So Cervantes actually rallied. But I don't know. Esperillo puts it 57-56, so it'd be it'd be a unanimous decision, but the scores might be close. Juan Guerra says 57-56 as well. And Didn't really 57-56. I wonder if that knockdown helped. And it did. Tommy Gibbons wins. So he wins the fight. Let's just take a look at the scorecards to see if there's any like discrepancies. So, yeah, I don't really see. Yeah, everyone scored 10-9 for Gibbons first round, 10-9 second round for Cervantes, 10-9 for Gibbons, then 10-8 for Gibbons with that knockdown, and then 10-9 for Cervantes, 5 and 6. Not being original, are we? Anyway, here we go. We have the 7 seed, the welterweight from Cuba, Luis Manuel Rodriguez, against the 10 seed junior lightweight from the Philippines, Gabriel Elorde. Rodriguez will be helped by Ronnie Shields and Angelo Dundee. Elorde by Theo Torrens and Eddie Olino. From the Aranta Coliseum in the Philippines, Dean Stone, your announcer. Doris Daney, your ring kite girl. Ian John Lewis, your referee. Terrence Macalusa, Tony Perez, not the baseball player, and Chris Wilson are your judges. Mirko Misera is your ringside expert. So, Manuel Rodriguez, Alf Puello, the Lion. 1937 to 1996, he was living. 1956 to 1972 was his career. 5'8", about 155. 107 and 13, the WBC and WBA welterweight champion. All his matches have been in Havana. Now he has to find another location. Unanimous decision over Luis Galfiani. A split decision over Sugar Ramos. A unanimous decision against Guillermo Regadou. And a split decision against Jose Naples. Meanwhile, Gabriel Elorde, the Philippines champion, Flash Elorde as they call him, 1935-1985. So he was only 50 when he died. Wow. 5'6", 137. 51 to 71 was his career. 88, 27 and 2. Super featherweight world champion. And 3 fights in Manila. Well, anyway, unanimous decision against Little Dado. A majority decision over Tiny Campo. TKO'd Pancho Villa. Big win for Elorde in the semis. And in the finals, he'd be majority decision over Cinderella Luisio Espinosa. So we shall find out who will move on and face Gibbons.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have your decision.
Well, we're done 6 rounds, as the first round indicates, and 58-58. So Mirko makes it close enough. I don't know. Macaluza says 58-57 for Rodriguez. Perez says 58-57 at Lourdes, so it's down to that dreaded last judge. And Wilson scores it even. Oh boy, we have a draw. Unbelievable, we have a draw. So, yeah, I don't know how we had a draw for that. So we do have a draw. Scorecards. Nope. Mirko was right. The unofficial scorecard was right. That it would be a tie. And it was a tie. So, now comes the hard part. How many 10-9s? Well, Macaluza gave Rodriguez 3 rounds, Alorte 2, in the 4th round a tie. Perez gave 2 rounds to Rodriguez, 3 to Alorte, and a tie. Wilson gave 3 rounds each. So, yeah. Yeah, Wilson gave 10-9s every time, no 10-10s like his contemporaries. So we have a rematch. We will actually do a speed rematch because we have several more to go. And Alorte wins by majority decision. So Alorte had the tie, and then he beats Rodriguez. So Alorte will move on. Next up, we have Peter Jackson from Australia, the 3 seed. Yeah, the 3 seed Peter Jackson against the 14 seed Jiro Watanabe. Peter Jackson, the heavyweight from Australia, against the junior bantamweight from Japan, Watanabe. Jackson, coached by Michael Tim and Charlie Goldman. Jiro will be coached by Bowie Fisher and Nick Florio. From the Iraqi Coliseum in Japan, Ray Connolly, your announcer. Holly Kisher, your ring card girl. Gary Risada will be your referee. Lanchet Oakmar, Deborah Barnes, and Arthur Ellison will be your judges, with Rocco Del Sesto, your ringside expert. Jackson from Australia, the Black Prince, as they call him. 6'1.5", about 193 pounds. His fight, I believe he's the only representative that actually fought before the 20th century. 46-3-3, he was billed as the color heavyweight champion. All his matches have been in Australia, now he's going to move out of Australia for his next match. United decision victories over Johnny Famichan, Charky Ramon, and Young Griffo, and then TKO on Jeff finish in the Australian Open final. Japan's winner, Jiro Watanabe from Osaka, 5'5", 114 pounds. Career from 1979 to 1986. 26-2 super flyweight champion. 2 fights in Tokyo, 2 fights in Osaka. He decisioned Apollo Yoshio. He KO'd Ijio Murata. Decisioned Toshiaki Nishioka in the semis, and TKO'd Kazuto Ioka in the finals. So who wins this one? Let's find out.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have your decision.
So 6 rounds are done. Unofficial scorecards has Watanabe with the win over Jackson. So we'll see. Look, we're 60-54, 60-54 by Barnes. And Ellison, 59-55. Who's got it? It is Watanabe from Japan with the big win in his home country over Peter Jackson, the heavyweight. Guess being heavyweight doesn't give you the win by default. And our final matchup, the 6th seed Eric Morales from Mexico, the featherweight champion, against number 11 from Argentina, Julio Cesar Vasquez, junior middleweight. Morales will be coached by Jimmy Montoya and Danny Milano. Kevin Rudy and Percy Richardson for Vasquez. From the Estadio Fab in Argentina, JD Lyons, your announcer. Ekaterina Pesco's your ring card girl. Frank Cappuccino, what a name for a referee. We'll be that. Arthur Laurie, Paul Artist, and Jeff Belton will be your judges with Lee McCray, your ringside expert. Morales from Mexico, El Terriba, 5'8", 135 pounds, 1993 was his career start. 52 wins, 8 losses. So he was life welterweight champion, a super featherweight, a featherweight, super bantamweight, a super feather. Okay, what's super featherweight? 117 belts amateurly, a decent thing. Anyway, he decisioned Juan Manuel Marquez, then Miguel Canto, then a TKO win over Ricardo Lopez, the most favorite straw. Wait, and then a big controversial win at Monterrey against Julio Cesar Chavez, as Morales was due to get eliminated quickly by JC Chavez, and then we probably would have had the battle of the JCs. But no, Chavez then ended up getting disqualified for a headbutt, and Morales won. A lot of people were pissed off, but that's the way it goes. Argentina has Julio Cesar Vasquez, El Zurdo, from Santa Fe, Argentina, 5'8", and about 160 pounds. 1986 to 2009 was his career. 68-13-1, the world light middleweight champion. This guy has had the most knockouts in his country's tournament. He KO'd Horacio Acapello, then won by technical decision over Victor Galindez, then KO'd both Sergio Gabriel Martinez and Omar Anders Navarez in the semis and finals, which you got to see live. So Vasquez has 3 knockouts. Can he make it 4? I don't know, but let's see.
Judges' votes are in, and here, ladies and gentlemen, is your winner.
Well, let's see. Who's got this one? And McRae says it will be Morales who will pull this one out. Well, you'll see. Arthur Laurie scores at 59-57, so it's going to be a unanimous decision. In a sense. Paul Artist says same thing. Jeff Belton says 59-57 for who? Eric Morales. So the Mexican champion wins. Any differential on the scoreboard, or it just 3-1 with 2 rounds carried? All the rounds were the same. 10-10 in the first, 10-9 for Morales in the second, 10-9 Vasquez, 10-10, 10-9 Morales, 10-9 Morales. So that's all we got. So the Mexican champion has done it. So that is the end of the first round of coverage. Next round will be the quarterfinals, where it will be 8 rounds of action. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond.